yen, and the R150 bond closed yesterday at a yield of 11.23%. And that's Econ News for now. Over to Vuyo in Centurion.
Well, thank you very much, Tracy, in Johannesburg. And here we are, joined now by an internet or IT whiz kid. He is actually now e-commerce manager with PricewaterhouseCoopers, Anton Sinovich. Anton, you were a hacker before, but you've just showed me a correction to that very quickly.
Yeah, it's actually what we were doing was ethical hacking. We were paid by the organizations that we hacked into to penetrate their security and analyze their systems and report the weaknesses back to them.
Was it difficult?
It was difficult in some instances, but our success rate's extremely high.
And now it is changing. Security is getting better with the internet?
Security is getting better. It's a step process. So a lot of hackers that just didn't have the opportunity to be around in the early days are probably going to find that first step insurmountable. Those that have been around, though, they've just got to top up every time the security gets better.
Talk about how the internet is and continues to change our lives.
Well, the impact's dramatic. It's almost like asking James Watt, when he invented the steam engine, what the impact of that would be on industry. James Daly probably got it right. Business is changing. Everything that was comfortable and familiar about our business and our lives is changing. We're entering an age that is dedicated to the pursuit of relentlessly connecting everything to everything else, while our business interests lie on the fault line of possibly the greatest seismic shift since the invention of the printing press. This is electronic business, this decentralized and anti-hierarchical net economy. It'll probably be the most important force shaping the next decade. It'll change the world, society, culture and politics. But first, it'll radically transform business.
But there's a limitation, bandwidth and availability thereof.
There is, particularly in South Africa. It's seen as a major inhibitor of e-commerce. A good saying I heard the other day was that you're probably not going to get any award-winning TV producers in a country that doesn't have TV. And it's very similar to that with business and internet and bandwidth.
And do you feel there's enough being done behind the scenes by companies like Telkom, by government, to provide or to increase the availability of bandwidth?
I think Telkom has a lot of issues that they need to deal with, particularly trying to bridge that digital divide, getting more access to more people. And I don't think that as a result of that they've been particularly concerned with getting very high quality, high speed bandwidth to corporations.
Can we not do it? Can we afford not to do it?
I don't think we can afford to do it at this stage in the game in e-commerce. This is a step that we have to take.
Looking at Africa in general, South Africa being perhaps the leading country in Africa in terms of developments in technology and IT and so on. So is South Africa really sufficiently geared to take the leadership role and take the rest of the continent with it?
Perhaps for the rest of Africa, but if you take it from the rest of the world's perspective, we're still very, very young. And in terms of technology, the amount of R&D spend in South Africa and research and development is very small. So in terms of us becoming real global powerhouses, we've still got a lot of work to do.
Anton Sinovich, e-commerce whiz kid, e-commerce manager with PricewaterhouseCoopers, joining us here at the National Network Operations Center for Telkom in Centurion. Thank you very, very much. Enlightening. Time now for the sports news in Johannesburg. It is Xolelwa Majek.